1, 2, mic check. Tipemphe tonse amene tili panja and tabwerera function ino ya Football Association of Malawi kuti tilowe mkati muno. Ngati mukumva mawanga panjapo mwabwerera function ya Football Association of Malawi, ndikupempheni kuti mulowe mkati muno so that we settle down and we start our program. 1, 2, mic check. 1, 2.
Mlingo mwe maisa na watu wena samari seti mlingo mwe amakuyeza nao chikupaniso wadiso zigolo seti zakala atungu. Uraye mamuna dikamuraye
basi.
One, two, 1 2 1 2. Anyambo mukundimva? Akuma mukundimva?
Two, two. Kabudulaye, mamuna di kabudulaye. Kabudulaye, mamuna di kabudulaye. Amatera moyendaye, achimwene fumbi kufumbi. Amatera moyendaye, kabudulaye. Kabudulaye, mamuna di kabudulaye. Kabudulaye, mamuna di kabudulaye. Amatera moyendaye, achimwene fumbi kufumbi. Amatera moyendaye, kabudulaye. Maisa nawo antu ena samali sendi mlingo omwe omwe amakuyeza nawo chifukwa kwa diso dziko lonse tidzakhala akungu omwe umawachitira amakusira nkansa amakuzonda samalise ndi mlingo omwe omwe amakuyeza nawo chifukwa kwadiso dziko lonse tidzakhala akhungu. One body and one spirit. You gotta care for somebody, no matter who you are. Remember we are one body, yeah, one spirit. You gotta care for somebody, no matter who you are. Mopanda nzeru ndi maso angati omwe alozedwe ndi mkwiyo muchala chifukwa kwadiso dziko lonse tidzakhala akhungu. Analenga potilenga anatiumba kuti tidzakhale odalirana ndi mtima wa chikondi chifukwa kwadiso dziko lonse tidzakhala akhungu. We are one body and one spirit. You gotta care for somebody, no matter who you are. Remember we are one body, yeah, one spirit. You gotta care for somebody, no matter who you are. When troubles come in my heart, burden, I am still and wait here in silence until you come and stay a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on my You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountain. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can. Baby, won't you tell me why there is sadness in your eyes? I don't wanna say goodbye to you. Love is one big illusion. I should try to forget, but there is something left in my head.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Handheld. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Ili bobo. Go. Okay. We're not going to the popo, eh? Zozi ambadala.
There is so much to say now between us. It ain't so much for you. It ain't so much for me. So I won't forget the way you were kissing The feeling so strong while lasting for so long. But I'm not the man your heart is missing. That's why you go away. I know. That's why you go away. I know. That's why you go away. I know. Would you dance if I ask you to dance? Would you run, never look back? Would you cry if you saw me crying? Would you save my soul tonight? Would you tremble if I touch your lips? Would you love? Oh, please tell me this. Now would you die for the one you love? Would me in your arms tonight? I can be your hero, baby. I can kiss away your pain. I will stand by you forever. You can take my breath away. Would you swear that you will always be mine? Would you love? Would you hold me down? Am I too deep? Have I lost my mind? Well, I don't care. You're here tonight. I can be your hero, baby. I can kiss away your pain. I will stand by you forever. You can take my breath away.
A lovely evening, our dear viewers. Welcome to Zodiac Television. We are at the Bingu International Convention Center in the capital, Lilongwe, where we will broadcast live an event that has been organized by the Football Association of Malawi, FAM. Basically, it is all about reflecting the 365 days that the new administration led by Fleetwood Haiya has been in office since last year's elections that were held in Mzuzu. So, as you may recall, that poll in which Mr. Haiya ousted former President Walter Nyamilandu was held on the 16th of December. So it's only just a year and a week that have passed since football affiliates ushered into a new administration that is led by Mr. Fleetwood Haiya. So today, the football fraternity, the football family is coming together to reflect the achievements that have been managed throughout the year 2024 as we draw close to its end. And again, looking ahead to the plans for next year. What does the future hold for Malawi's football in as far as transforming the game agenda, which Mr. Haiya is championing, is concerned? Tikutero kuti tikulandireni kuchokera kuno ku BICC mu mzinda wa Lilongwe. Tili pano pa Zodiak TV, mwambo umene nditu tufuna tikuonetseni umene lakonza ni bungwe la Football Association of Malawi FAM kwakukulu kufuna kuunikira kuti kodi pa masiku 365 amene ndi chaka chimodzi chimene nditu utsogoleri watsopano wa bungwe la FAM watsogolera masewero ampira wa miyendo ndi ziti zimene akwaniritsa. Ndiye mchengereza kumanena kuti reflecting on the 365 days of the transformation agenda. Monga momwe mukumbukira Haiya anagonjetsa awotanya milandu pa chisankho chimene chinachitika mwezi wa December chaka chatha kumzuzu. Kuchokera tsiku limene chisankho chinachitika pa 16 December kudzafika sabata yathayi ndiye kuti chaka chimodzi ndi sabata ndi zimene ndithu zatha pamene iwowa ndithu ndi anzawo ena ngati first vice president Christopher Madalitso Kuyera, second vice president Dr. Lamek Zetu Konje, komanso ma executive committee members Daudi Mtantiko, Chimango Muntali, Adelaide Migogo, Christopher Kapanga, komanso ndithu Bernard Chiwiriwiri Harawa akhala ali mu office kutsogolera ntchito zoyendetsa masewero ampiro amiyendo mdziko lino. Ndiziti kodi zimene ndithu administration imene ya farm imene Haiya akutsogolera yakwanitsa mu chaka chimodzi, but pamene zinthu zikuoneka ngati kuti zikuyenda nanga pati pamene zikuoneka ngati kuti zinthuzi sizikuyenda ndiye kwakukulu kukhale ndithu kuwunikira kumene koko komanso kukambirana kuti kodi chaka chammawa pamenenso tidziyamba season ina ziti zofunika kuti tikonze zimene zinali ngati zofowoka zimene zachitika mu chaka cha 2024. So very shortly the guest of honor, the youth and sports minister, which is Mkandawire, will be joining us. The farm president Fleetwood Haiya will also be joining us, and again there are quite a number of delegates that are coming from the Football Association of Malawi delegates that are attending this event, where they will reflect on what has been achieved throughout the 365 days of the new administration which Mr. Haiya is leading, and again looking forward to the plans for the future. In terms of the national team's performance, we all know for sure that this year the national team hasn't performed to everyone's expectations. What were the maybe the setbacks? What were the challenges? And looking forward to how the national team can revive what has to be done. So those are some of the issues that will be discussed right here at the Bingu International Convention Center in this midst room, where the delegates will be brainstorming on a number of issues. I'm being joined by Masia Nyasulu. He is the General Secretary for the Northern Region Football Association, an affiliate of the Football Association of Malawi. Welcome, Mr. Nyasulu.
Thank you very much.
We are reflecting on the 365 days which the current administration, led by Mr. Fleetwood Haiya, has been in office. Being an affiliate of the Football Association of Malawi, you organize the league in the north. Do you think some of the maybe promises that he made you affiliates to give him the mandate to be heading Malawi's football, he is achieving?
Yeah, in fact, we are one of the proud association. You know, we are one of those who gave him a mandate to say, let us go for Fleetwood Haiya, because in his manifesto, in his preaching, he was talking of football. So we felt like supporting Fleetwood Haiya would mean a lot to our development of football in Malawi. Basically, we have really benefited a lot. Let's say football administration. All the past years, we haven't been trained as football administrators. But for the first time, we are taken to Mangochi, where at least all members from affiliates attended the trainings for administration course. So we feel like FH lived to his promises. Okay. Secondly, farmers also purchased vehicles for regional associations. Right. We are proud of that. Okay. And for the north, basically, to be...
It is mobility challenges.
Exactly, okay. Exactly. Okay. But above all, we had the Blue Elephant, okay. Ruinga Technical Center, right. Has been there for the past 14 years. Okay. No progress. Okay. But just 365 days, okay. Now that building is hosting young kids, okay. Young girls. Right. So we are proud of that. We have very good playing surfaces at Ruinga Technical Center. So we feel like Fleetwood is living to his words. Okay. So we have really benefited during the first 365 days in the power of Fleetwood Haiya.
This journey, however, cannot be all that rosy. Challenges, setbacks might have been experienced somewhere here and there. What could be some of the challenges?
Basically, I would point out maybe insufficient of maybe equipments, match balls, nets, bibs, cones. We feel like those are basic needs for the football development in all the regions. Okay. So we feel like if now we can go flat out, procuring match balls, nets, so that at least each and every field should have at least nets, should have match balls. These will help young talent to maybe to showcase their talent.
Tikutero ndithu kuti tili kuno ku BICC kumene tikukamba kuti bungwe la FAM lakonza mwambo umene liunikire masiku 365 amene ndithu chaka chimodzi chimene utsogoleri wa bungwe limeneli umene akusogolera ndi Fleetwood Haiya wakhala kuyendetsa ntchito za masewero ampira wa miyendo mdziko lino la Malawi. Ndipo kunoko ndithu kwabwera nthumwi zosiyanasiyana zochokera ku nthambi zosiyanasiyana zoyendetsa masewero ampira wa miyendo kumene ndithu wina aliyense akhaleni mwayi omasuka opereka maganizo ake kuti koma ife tikuona kuti pa masiku 365 amenewa izi zayenda izi zikukhala ngati kuti mwina apena pake tikuona kuti tiwunikireponso bwino. Apa ndili ndi Amasiya Nyasulu, iwowa ni mlembi wankulu wa nthambi imene imayendetsa mpira wa miyendo mchigawo chakumpoto Northern Region Football Association. Takulandira.
Tathokoza kwambiri.
Masiku 365 utsogoleri watsopano wa bungwe la FAM chaka chimodzi chimene Haiya akhala kutsogolera ntchito zoyendetsa masewero ampira wa miyendo mdziko lino anali wotani?
No, mwina mwachidule tinene kuti wakhala ulamuliro woti mwina ukusowekera kwambiri kwa nthawi yayitali kumpira wathu kumalawi kunoko. Mwina kwa nthawi yoyamba ife kuchigawo chakumpoto takhala anthu amodzi oti tapindula kwambiri. Mukuziwa kumbuyo konseku mwina tinkangonena kuti tikuyendesa mpira koma opanda ukadaulo weniweni, koma tikunena pano inalipo nthawi yoti onse amene ali makomiti amene timatcha ma affiliates anatengedwa kupita ku mangochi kukaphunzitsidwa kuti mpira timayendesa bwanji. Akulu amene akuziwa ndithu mmene mpira umayendera Ashford Mamelodi ndi amene anali ma facilitators. So tikuona ngati pa nthawi imene Fleetwood Haiya wakhalira pa ulamuliro ku Football Association of Malawi wayamba bwino. Komanso pamwamba pa zimenezo taona ndithu ma associations FAM ikuwagulira magalimoto oti atithandizire mayendedwe. Si chokhacho makamaka ife kuchigawo chakumpoto tinene kuti tili ndi program ija timati Ruinga Technical Center. Ili project yoti mwina yakhala zaka zambirimbiri kulamuliro wa kumbuyoku analibe nawo chidwi kumpoto analibe nafe chidwi, komano pa nthawi yochepa masiku 365 Fleetwood Haiya waonesesa kuti that project panopa ikhale kugwira ntchito. Tikunena pano ndi malo oti akusungira ana asungwana ndi anyamata oti akumatha kumasewera mpira, chimene kwa ife tikuona ngati zikuyenda bwino.
Mwina ulendowu simungamangodzitamandira kuti ayi zonse zili bwino kulibeko ulendo umene mmayenda osakumana ndi ziphinjo mwina mmabampu munseumu pa masiku 365 amene wawa ngakhale mukupereka chithunzithunzi tonena kuti zonse zinali bwino, pena pake mukumaonabe pakunena kuti tikonze nkukhala mavuto monga hati?
Kwambiri tikhoza kunena kuti tikamati tikuyendesa mpira timayenekera tikhale ndi ma equipment, ma resources. So kwambiri tikamati zinthu zikuyenda bwino, komanso malo amene ife tikuona ngati mwina tachepekeredwa ndi malo oti mwina atiwonjezere ma resources ngati mipira. Mukuziwa tili ndi maground ambirimbiri oti mwina malo ambiri akumatha mwina kumasewera mipira yoti mwina siya size yawo. Tikupemphabe kuti malo amenewo atithandizire kuti awonjezere kuti tikhale ndi zida zokwanira kuti mwana aliyense akhale akuziwa kuti mpira ndi chiti. Komanso kuonjezera popo maneti ndi zinthu zimodzi moti zimatithandizira kwambiri. Mukuziwa mwina mbimbira tikamasewera olo mwina anthu achinya chigoli ngati palibe maneti zimakhala zovuta mwina maphokoso, komano atatithandiza malo ngati amenewo ndiye kuti zitipangira ubwino kwambiri, ndiye kuti masewera athu apita pasogolo kwambiri.
Tathokoza kwambiri.
Zomwe kwambiri.
Amasiya Nyasulu, mlembi wankulu wa nthambi imene imayendetsa masewero ampira wa miyendo mchigawo chakumpoto Northern Region Football Association, nawonso amatifotokozera mbali yawo kuti kodi masiku 365 oyambirira autsogoleri wa Fleetwood Haiya kuyendetsa ntchito za bungwe la Football Association of Malawi FAM anali otani, pena zimakoma komanso ndithu pofuka pena ndi pena iwowa ndithu akambonena kuti ayi monga malo awa ofunika ndithu kuti waunikire. So the guest of honor, the Minister of Youth and Sports, which is Mkandawire, the Football Association of Malawi FAM President Fleetwood Haiya, Super League of Malawi Solom President Gilbert Mitawa have all entered into the room where this event will be held, reflecting on the 365 days of the transformation of the game. This event will be moderated by Katie Kujaliwa. Let me hand over to her. Thank you.
Mulungu wathu amene muli kumwamba, Mulungu wachikondi, Mulungu wachifundo, mwayenera kulandira ulemu komanso matamando kumpando wanu wachifumu mu nyengo ino ya mazulo chifukwa cha zifundo ndi zisomo zimene mwaonetsera mwa ife ananu amene tili mkati mwa chipinda chino, chifukwa cha tsiku ili limene linaganiziridwa nakonzedwa koma inu mulungu mwakwaniritsa kuti nyengo iyi ikakhale yokhazikika takumana malo ano ndi chifundo chanu. Tikupemphera kuti chilichonse chimene chichitike malo ano, inu mulungu mukhale patsogolo. Tsogolerani mtsogoleri wa bungwe ili la Football Association of Malawi, komanso onse omwe agwira nawo ntchito ndi cholinga chokwaniritsa zokhumba zimene ali nazo pakukweza masewero mu dziko lathu lino la Malawi. Khalani mulendo olemekezeka pamalo ano, natsogolera iwo nawapasa zifundo ndi zisomo zochuluka kuti akwaniritse kuchita monga mwa chifuniro chanu. Mu dzina la mphamvu la Yesu Khristu tapemphera. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zonda. We can give him a round of applause for that prayer. Well, the Honorable Minister of Sports, Honorable Chizim Kandawire, the President of the Football Association of Malawi, Mr. Fleetwood Haiya, and your entire executive, all dignitaries from the government sector, private sector, corporate members, affiliates here present, all protocols observed. Once again, good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much. 2023, the football world was amazed when one Fleetwood Haiya stepped up and said, I'm coming with a new agenda, and it's called the transforming the game. He saw us a dream, an ambition, his aspirations for the football of Malawi. And we not only fell in love with him, the affiliates gave him his vote. And today, he is the president of the Football Association of Malawi. Allow me to welcome you all tonight, and not just you, but those that are also following on different platforms, especially on MBC TV, Times TV, Zodiak, and Mibawa Television. Welcome, coming to you live from the BICC, and my name is Keti Kujaliwa. I'm going to be your host. Mwachidule, kwa onse amene akutitsatira, magawo siyana amene ndafotokoza pano, kuti tikulandireni mwapaderadera. Tsiku la lero ndi tsiku la mtengo wapatali kwambiri, pamene tikukumbukira zimene Mr. Fleetwood Haiya anachita masiku 365 apitawo, amene ndi chaka tsopano, pamene anabwera ndi mfundo zawo zofuna kusintha masewera ampira kuno ku Malawi. Ndiye lero tikukumbukira kuti patatha zaka 365, a Fleetwood Haiya ananena kuti chimodzi cha zinthu zimene adzachita zinthu poyera. Ndiye lero abwera in the spirit of transparency and accountability to give you back the Malawian people, the football fraternity, and the world, to show you kuti ndapanga chani in the past 365 days. So ladies and gentlemen, that's why we are here tonight. Ngakhale chakhala chaka chopambana, taona zinthu zambiri zikuchitika, takhala tikuona ndalama zochuluka zikupita ku matimu, takhala tikuona kasinthidwe ka zinthu makamaka ku mabwalo a mpira, komanso panachitika zinthu zina mchaka chimenechi pamene tinataya anzathu amene timasewera nawo mpira. Mundilole, Honorable Minister and President, kuti pa nthawi ino we should observe a moment of silence kukumbukira all our beloved and fallen members. Thank you. Mizimu yawo iwuse mu mtendere. Well, ladies and gentlemen, amene atiyambire bwalo madzulo ano is none other than Mr. Alfred Gonda, amene ndi General Secretary AFAM. Mundilole, and it's my singular honor to invite him to the podium for his remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, the General Secretary, Mr. Gonda.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Uchizim Kandawire, the President of the Football Association of Malawi, Mr. Fleetwood Haiya, and your entire executive here present, members of the member associations of the Football Association of Malawi here present, members coming from our partners in football, our sponsors here present, members of the media, government officials here present. I recognize you, Honorable Chirapondwa, there. You're welcome. My singular duty this evening is to sincerely welcome you all to this event that takes us through the memory lane of the year 2024. That marks the first year of the transformation of the game in Malawi with Fleetwood Haiya as president. We have taken ourselves through the 365 days, and today we are proudly closing the first 365 days of his leadership, and would like to give you a glimpse of what we are here for tonight. Basically, we are looking at what the year has been like in the game of football, in all aspects of the game. We'll take you through the technical aspects of the game, the competitions that we have run through the year, the commercial and marketing perspectives that we have managed to sail through in the year, our strategic partnerships that we have managed to harness in the year, bringing in new ones, courtesy of our new president with his new ideas, the governance aspect, how we have managed the game, how we have managed our institution and the affiliate members in the game of football, and also looking at how we have done our infrastructure development in the year 2024. We will also look at how we project our actions in the year 2025, following the strategic plan that was launched by our leadership in June this year, as confirmed by our General Assembly, as part of our governance, in the transformation of the game agenda. I would not want to talk too much. Mine was just to give a synopsis of why we are here tonight and the areas where we will touch tonight, especially on the journey that we embarked on the 16th of December in the year 2023. All this is encapsulated in a very beautiful presentation that will take us through to give us a picture of what FAM has done. And indeed, we'll also look at what is it that in the strategic plan that we are working on in the transformation agenda is projecting for the year 2025. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you once again and invite you to a very beautiful evening that talks about the game's transformation and indeed the future of Malawi's football in the hands of our President, Fleetwood Haiya. I thank you all for honoring the invitation to this event, and indeed, let's together enjoy the night and indeed look forward to the agenda of the transformation of the game in style in the year 2025. I thank you all for your attention.
Zikomo kwambiri, Mr. Gunda, popereka mawu amenewo, opening remarks, nthawi ya madzulo. Amainda abambo, tsopano tikufuna kuti muone zimene zakhala zikuchitika masiku 365. Tisachulutse gagamudiwa. Let me invite you, focus your eyes on the projectors because they will show us what has happened in 365, a snapshot, back to back, followed by stakeholder feedback. Thank you.
Mr. Fleetwood Haiya, 23 votes.
Together, we form a formidable team, united by a shared vision and common purpose to transform our football from a common game to a professional, profitable, and well-structured industry.
16th December 2024 marked the first anniversary of Fleetwood Haiya as the president of the Football Association of Malawi, FAM. Haiya, popularly known as FH, rose to the country's football high office following his victory in a landmark election triumph over former President Walter Nyamilandu at the Sunbelt Hotel in Mzuzu on the 16th of December 2023. Haiya's election victory came on a platform of his campaign under the auspices of transforming the game, which is also the backbone theme of his election manifesto. After 1 year in office, we look at his leadership, which is premised on reforms and development of football from the grassroots, and how a foundation for future success has been laid. As we stop the key highlights of Haiya's achievements as head of FAM in the first year of his leadership, these are some of the significant milestones FH and his team have achieved. Achieving strategic partnerships. Within the first year, Haiya's leadership has secured a 3-year sponsorship for the new Nation Division League from NBS Bank worth 1 billion kwacha. It has enhanced engagement with the corporate world by hosting a corporate sponsors meeting that led to new partnerships as well as improved running deals. Facilitated the retainership and raising of football sponsorships, among them Airtel Malawi sponsorship. Airtel Top 8 raised by 188% from 243 million kwacha to 688 million kwacha. Castel Challenge Cup sponsorship up from 320 million kwacha to 400 million kwacha. FDH Bank Cup raised from 120 million kwacha to 150 million kwacha. TNM Super League sponsorship from 150 million kwacha to 500 million kwacha a season. The Haiya administration also initiated the signing of parts with the Morocco FA for football development. Locally, it signed an MOU with the Football Legends Association to enhance cooperation with the former stars on football development and engaged members of parliament on their role in developing and transforming the game in Malawi. On governance, with FH at the helm of the country's FA, came the launching of the first ever farm strategic plan spanning from 2024 to 2034. The strategic plan was a missing link in Malawi's football, providing direction and platform to evaluate performance. FAM also commissioned the Eastern Region Football Association to ensure that the region is not disenfranchised in terms of football administration in the country. Member associations in the first year have seen their annual subventions significantly increased from 10 million kwacha to 30 million kwacha, and FAM also purchased motor vehicles for affiliate bodies to ease their mobility challenges. For the first time in history, FAM ceded 10% of gate takings to Super League clubs as a means of economically empowering top-flight clubs. During the first year, all the mandatory 4 executive committees meetings were held in line with FAM statutes. And to ensure that there is enhanced efficiency in medical, safety and security, media and league development, FAM established ad hoc committees to advise the executive committee on these matters. There were also enhanced capacity building programs where high-level administration and management courses were held as follows: football and competitions management, as well as match organization for youth, beach soccer and district football committee. Elite women's football capacity building workshop. Member Association Football Administration course that attracted all committee members of all member associations. Media workshop for upcoming football journalists. FAM also established first ever National Football Supporters platform that will help in mobilizing support for our nation teams, creation of identity among others, as well as improved coordination with supporters to eradicate crowd trouble at local competition matches. In terms of technical improvements and achievements, during Haiya's first year in office, the much-touted export strategy rolled into action with the opening of the Luwinga Inclusive Academy in Mzuzu to become Malawi's first ever high-performance full-time inclusive football academy. 27 boys and 15 girls between the ages of 13 and 16 were selected across the country and will receive more intensive and focused training so that they can quickly learn and improve their skills for elite performance. Within the same spectrum, the new leadership at FAM rejuvenated youth football by investing into schools and youth football. Within the same year, the FH-led FAM guided our beach soccer nation team to back-to-back AFCON qualifications, as well as to a bronze medal at the COSAFA Beach Soccer Tournament.
And then he does find the back of the net, Isaac Kichamu.
The FH administration restructured the FAM technical panel, which produced some positive results in the final AFCON qualifying matches against Burundi and Burkina Faso, giving hope of improved results in the remaining 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers next year. We can also talk of high-level technical workshops that took place in 2024 among them. First ever video assistant referee training for 35 local referees as FAM aims to introduce VAR in future. A young referees course aimed at building elite referees. CAF B coaching course, which targeted former Flames players. A first ever players performance analyst for league coaches. FAM recorded some level of success leading the under-15 girls team to AFCON Schools Championship qualification and the under-20 boys nation team to 4 Nations Cup glory. And to cap it all, on the technical front, FAM ensured that all nation teams, the Flames, the Scorchers, under-20 boys, under-17 boys and girls, under-15 boys and girls, and big soccer took part in the international competitions of their categories in 2024. Now let's go to infrastructure and technical programs. As pointed out earlier, after over a decade of false starts, FAM completed works and opened the Luwinga Technical Center in Mzuzu. We also, through a procurement process, identified a contractor and commenced works at the Nsanje Stadium project, which is nearing completion. We cannot skip the hosting and the receipt of a funding commitment from FIFA President Gianni Infantino on key infrastructure projects in Lilongwe as a key milestone within the first year of FH leadership. Let's now look at competitions. In the very first year of Haiya's administration, FAM showed its ability to manage high-level international football competitions by successfully hosting the first of its kind, a 4 Nations tournament at the Bingu National Stadium in Lilongwe, which featured A-class teams of Malawi, Zambia, Kenya, and Zimbabwe, and the under-20 boys team for Malawi, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. During the period under review, we also hosted the Women's CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers at the Mpira Stadium in Blantyre. FAM in 2024 introduced the Nation First Division, which will be bankrolled by as the country's second tier league to improve competition at all levels. At the same time, FAM harmonized regional leagues to have one structure. This included incorporating district leagues in the main football pyramid. The new FAM leadership also initiated the switch of the football calendar to align with the international football calendar. It also enhanced safety and security at football matches by conducting first ever high-level CAF stewardship training. And as evidence to the structural improvements, FAM, after many decades, introduced night matches for club competitions to enhance fans' experience at matches. Over and above, we successfully managed all top-level local football competitions, among them the China Shield, FDH Bank Cup, Airtel Top 8, Castel Challenge Cup, the TNM Super League, the Goshen Women's National Championship, the FCB Under-19 National Championship, and the HTD. How about commercial marketing? It will go on record that in 2024, FAM increased its member association sponsorship portfolio from 1.06 billion kwacha in 2023 to 1.4 billion kwacha in 2024, representing an upward adjustment of 38.2%. FAM also reviewed gate management models, which led to the record revenue in matches played in the FDH Bank Cup and Airtel Top 8 2024 final. There were also some good news with increased Mpira TV revenue of 150%, while media rights revenue also grew by 30%. It was FAM's initiative for the use of e-ticketing platforms to reduce pilferage and improve football revenue correction. FAM continued making an impact on the society with the FAM China Shield initiative, which in 2024 raised 46.3 million kwacha for the construction of ventilated toilets facilities for Kanjui and Kampudza schools in Salima. Amid the solid triumphs, we have faced some challenges. Our men's senior team struggled in the year under review, missing out on AFCON qualification and slipping on FIFA rankings. The men's junior and women's teams also fell short in the competitions they participated. The poor performance of the national team is largely due to funding constraints in the short-term assessment and unstructured foundations in the long, leading to limited preparations in the former and disastrous performances in the latter. All in all, the Fleetwood Haiya-led administration at FAM has proved that Malawi football can really be transformed with sound, visionary, and dedicated leadership. Within the year, there have been a host of challenges that Haiya and his team are navigating. Lessons have been learned, while laying a solid foundation to achieve its goals of making Malawi a football dominant force, not only in this part of the world, but on the world stage as well. With this picture, we can declare without any fear of contradiction that Haiya and his team are on course in transforming the game.
Richard Mbulu, chigoli chachiwiri cha timu ya Malawi.
Ya dzina langa ndine Kim Gamau, soccer analyst, nimakhala kuno ku Lilongwe aliyense amazo.
Mr. Fleetwood Haiya, 23.
Thank you very much. That was reflecting 365 days transforming the agenda. Mmene tinanenera kunena kuti nkhani ndiyo kuti tikakhala kuti tikuchita chinthu timayenera kumvanso kuchokera kwa ma-stakeholders kuti anthu amene akukhudzidwa ndi zimene zikuchitika akunenapo chani. Good leadership imayenera kuti izikhalanso ndi nthawi yomvetsera kwa anthu amene akuwatumikira. Therefore, tipereke mpata kuti timve kuti ma-stakeholders in football analankhula zotani after 365 days of Fleetwood Haiya's reign.
Ya dzina langa ndine Kim Gamau, soccer analyst, nimakhala kuno ku Lilongwe aliyense amadziwa nimakhala ku Lilongwe. Mwina pa chaka choyamba cha President Fleetwood Haiya FH komanso ndi entire executive yawo tinganene kuti yakhala yopambana kwambiri pa magawo osiyanasiyana. Mwina ndikambako magawo amene mwina zachitika mwina ku marifalizi mukati muone marifali akhala ali ndi ma training osiyanasiyana komanso marifali athu akhala akupita ku Kosafa ena apita ku CAF Champions League Confederations Cup komanso sikuti angwasira momwepo kuliso training ya video assistant referee VAR kutengera kuti mpira wa masiku ano uli ndi makono ndiye ku Malawi kuno president sanafune kuti titsalire kuti mwina tiziona anzathu akupanga za video assistant referee. So maphunziro amene akubwerawo ndi maphunzironso othandiza kwambiri. Sanasire pomwepo komanso makochi anaphunzitsidwa. Taona ma former players ambiri akupanga nawo macourse CAF A, CAF B, CAF C. Taona makochi ngati Peter Mponda, McDonald Yobe, Andrew Chikosi, Robert Bajo Ngambi, onsewo apanga nawo maphunziro kusonyeza kuti executive imene ikuganizira ma former players. Sitingayiwale atulankhani so ndi amodzi amene amatukula masewero ampira. Mutha kuona kuti ubale wa FAM ndi mwina ndi atulankhani mbuyomu umakhala ngati kuti otalikirana amene mwina amakhala kuti mwina ali ndi ma connections kuti mwina azipeza information amakhala omwewo ochepekera mwina awiri atatu. So panopa apanga expand kuti mtolankhani wina aliyense sakuona kuti uyu akuchokera community radio kudzimwe, kapena uyu akuchokera ku Nsanje, kapena uyu akuchokera ku Mzimba, kapena uyu akuchokera ku Ntutupyo Kalonga. Onsewo awapanga kuti akhale chimodzimodzi. Mwina anthu ena zimene apangazi anakatha kupanga mwina pa 5 or 12 years, koma awawa apanga mu 365 days. Ndiye tiwapemphe president komanso ndi komiti yawo kuti apitirize zimenezi zimene Malawi amafuna.
Ine ngati Higa Nkandawire ndimayankhulira pa nkhani za mpira kuti ndifotokoze kwambiri zimene wapangira FH ndi executive yonse ya FAM mu 365 days. Ndikuona ngati kuti pa 15 goals zimene analonjeza FH ayisesa kwambiri makamaka ku nkhani ya kodi matimu athu kupanga participate mu ma competitions chachitika ndi chani. Ndikuona ngati koyamba matimu onse kupanga participate. Ndaonapo under 17 inapita ku South Africa, under 20 inapita ku Mozambique, komanso taonanso 4 Nations tournament ija inachitika ku Lilongwe, komanso taonanso senior team kupanga participate mu AFCON osadandaula za ma transport kapena iya zosiyana ma logistics. Taona kuti kuyesesa kumene iyeyo anakozekera kuti iyeyo akhale president ndi azake onse ayesesa kwambiri.
Okay, dzina langa ni Antonio Manda. Ndine General Secretary wa Central Region Football Association. Chaka choyambirira chencheni cha Bambo Fleetwood Haiya ndi komiti yawo. Ifeyo ngati ku Central Region Football Association taona kusintha kwambiri. Kusintha kwake kuna kuti ma issues to do with the subversion tikapempha tikumalandira on time. Komanso bwanawo zikuoneka kuti ma functions athu onse amene takhali nawo, he's been there for us. Zikusiyana amene zimakhala ambuyo kuti tsogolera apezeke pa function athu zimavuta. China ndichonena kuti ubale wathu ndi ma sponsor zikuoneka kuti zili bwino chifukwa Bambo Fleetwood Haiya ndi komiti yawo zikuoneka kuti analengaso step yokumana ndi ma sponsor athu aja kucheza nawo. Zikuoneka bwino. And in terms of mpira pa ground zikuoneka bwinonso kwambiri chifukwa ngati ku Central Region kuno transformative agenda kunoko tayilandira bwino. Because you can agree with me kuti for the past seasons tinali ndi mavuta maphokoso mwina malifali kumenyedwa things like that. This time around tikufika December kumapeto koma palibe imene chikuchitika magema kumenyedwa bwinobwino.
Ine ndine Patrick Mbalati, Vice Chairman wa Southern Region, kuti ndifotokoze pa ulamuliro wa Fleetwood pa chaka chimene chaka chimodzi moyendesa wapanga zinthu zambiri wasintha mpira. Muchidule tingati wapanga transform the game. Apapa ndi mmene zilili monga ine wa Southern Region uno kumwera watichita zinthu zapamwamba kwambiri. Mutha kuona pano ma region onse pano atigulira magalimoto amene tingathe kugwiritsa ntchito zimene m'mbuyomu panalibe sizinachitikepo zona kuti region nkumapezeka kuti ili ndi galimoto. Komanso a president Haiya abweretsa kuti region ayipasa mphamvu zimene zikuonesa kusogoloku kupezeka kuti tizimenya national league. So that league ya region iliyonse pano ili ndi mphamvu zochuluka.
Ndine Pasiya Nyasulu, General Secretary wa Northern Region Football Association. Choyambirira ife ngati anthu oyendesa mpira ku chigawo cha kumpoto ndife anthu onyadira kwambiri komanso osangalala pa nthawi imene tikunena kuti takwanisa masiku 365 tili mu ulamuliro wa president wa nyuwani amene ali FH Fleetwood Haiya. Komano pa ulamuliro wake taona zinthu zambiri zimene zosiyana kwambiri ndi mmene zinkakhalira kumbuyo. Choyambirira tinene kuti mpira wathu makamaka maligi athu panopa akukhazikika kwambiri, ma sponsors ambiri apanga adjust ma sponsorship package, komanso ifeso kwa kulukulu ngati kuchigawo cha kumpoto atithandizira kwambiri kuti tipeze ma sponsors ena mpaka na panopa tunena ligi yathu ili pa 25 million. Komano zazikulu zimene taonapo zimene president athu apanga pa nthawi imene tikunena kuti tikusangalala 365 days, makamaka mukumbukira kuti kumbuyo konseko mwina ma AGM ambiri ankachitika kumangopita mwina anthu 6 komanso anthu awiri. Komano for the first time titapita ku AGM kumangochi zinaonesa kuti makomiti onse anapita komwenso kuna kachitika administration course imene ikutithandizira kwambiri kuti tionjezere nzeru zimene tinali nazo kale amene timayendesera masewero mpira athu.
Ine Benjamin Tole, General Secretary of City Hamas. Kunachungamu mu chaka chimodzi yapitachi mulamuliro wa nyuwani wa bwana Fleetwood Haiya at least tiyamikile zambiri za sintha ya one game per week. Mbuyo ndi mboni yanga ndimamenya magame awiri per season per week, of which napeza kuti matimu amana fatigue. Timu atopa game 1 Sunday game 2 okuti sinali bwino pa mpira ino panopa mene tina ulamuliro limene nasinthawula kuti zimene game imodzi pa week nokhala ndi mboni kuti there's a huge competition. Mbuyo kuti kanguti bullets wonders panopa iso ndi mboni Mzulu City Hammers number 4 komanso you can see timu so yafika mu kasemu Castel Cup final. It shows kuti we are transforming the game.
Dzina langa ndine Shami Nkunda, ndino wa ku Lilongwe. Nditha kuchifotokoza chaka cha Fleetwood Haiya motere ndikuona ngati mpirabe wasintha. Tokamba kankhani ya revenue ya kumpira ndaona kusintha kwambiri. Tikumava panopa machito zoti chakuti tatola mabingu mwakuti kuwanika 1.8 billion zimene zinthu yani zimene ife siti maziziwa kuti kodi kumpira kuzimatheka tingatukwanisa Malawi kuti kuno kumpira wathu uli ndi ndalama chonchi. Tikumathanso kuona kuti ayi apanga sosi kumpira wachitsozera ndalama zochuluka mwakuti sonjera kuziwa kuti mpira umayochoka kuti umachokera kumene kujaku ku grassroots ndi kuti kumene kujaku ngati sikuyenda bwino mpira so kujani sungende bwino koma tikuona zoti akupanga tako chani malose timaonesa kuti beach soccer ngakeso zinakativura kuona kumabeti kuona kuti yayi kumaona beach soccer mafika malevuza mpira kutani mpira kusini.
Zina langa ndine Steria Mwalule Mrs Muhone ndimasapotera Manoma Nyelele ndi timu yathu. Mulamuliro wa Haiya taona zinthu zingapo zosintha. Matimu akupindula mukuti tilekeze kumbali ya zinkho zikutengedwa ndi matimu osiyana-siyana. Sizikumakhala za timu imodzi yomweyo kumango winayi. Pali matimu osiyana-siyana amene atenga zinkho. Wanderers atenga Castel, palinso matimu ena atenga zinkho zina. Ndi tikuona zinthu zosintha kwa basi. Chisogolo monga mene anabwera president athu Haiya. Chiyembekezo changa ndi chokuti maplayer athu ndingathe kukondwa ndikhulupiraso ambiri angathe kukondwa titamaona akusewera matimu akunja matimu aku Europe. Haiya transforming the game.
Wow. Come on, we can do better than that. We can do better than that. Thank you, thank you. Inejimene ndamva akuti in 365 days Haiya abweretsa Mzuzu City Hammers, and we can agree. We all can agree. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me at this juncture to invite our band, Diminished Band, to give us one piece, and then we will have another video on future outlook. What is Fleetwood Haiya promising for the next 365 days? Over to you, band.
mtima wanga mwandi patsa mzimu wanu omeletsa zipaso ndemu ndiyankhira ndiye atipatsa simukumveka ofa anatsika timbenso komaliza koma mokweza ndiye atipatsa ofa anatsika kumwambawo ndiye chifukwa chokuti zonse zimene taona apa zingokamba haiya good money haiya akhale kasongo yeye mumbali nanga kasongo mbona wewo lero akhale kasongo eti okay. Sure. Mama nasira zanini we bwana wataka kuniua bure baba wako hayuko wangu hayuko chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe lile oh mama nasira za nini we bwana wataka kuniua bure baba yule si wako nane si wangu chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe lile oh mama nasira za nini we bwana wataka kuniua bure baba wewe una wako nyumbani nane nina wangu nyumbani chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na unanasema sina makosa we bwana sina makosa we bwana sina makosa we bwana yeah. Makosa. Wataka Kembalasha. Wataka kuniua bure. Sina makosa we bwana, sina makosa we bwana, sina makosa we bwana, sina makosa kikulacho bekikuoni wako, kikulacho bekikuoni wako, rafiki yako alubi yako, rafiki yako alubi yako. Ina ninaona dele, ninaona dele, ninaona dele, naona yeah. Ina ninaona dele, ninaona dele, ninaona dele, ninaona yeah.
A big round of applause for Diminished Band. Wow, thank you so much. Ndimayang'ana nditu mmene sambo amakungira bwino. Ndaona nyimbo yoyamba ija yatha nditu yangoyamba ina ija ndimayenda naye ndimacheza naye. Ndaona labo minister sakanapilira koma anayamba poko vina. So beautiful rhythm there, Diminished Band. Thank you so much. Pamene tikupitirira ndi program yathu amainda abambo muli kuno komanso nonse amene mukutitsatira pa makanema osiyanasiyana kuno ku Malawi. Tikufuna tipitirire ndi program yathu titatha kuona zimene zachitika the past 365 days komanso kuti kodi ma stakeholders anthu amene amakhudzidwa ndi mpira anenapo chiyani, alankhulapo chiyani za ulamuliro wa Fleetwood Haiya. Tsopano tikufuna tione kuti kodi kupita kutsogolo masiku 365 amene akubwera mchaka cha 2025 akutisungira zotani. Take team.
All in all, I would say come next year, our plan is to continue building on this foundation that we've laid. When it comes to grassroots, we have seen the opening of Zuzu, the Luwinga Inclusive Academy. We believe that come next year is also going to help us to maximize on the partnership that we have with Malawi School Sports Association, where we want to extend such academies into secondary schools, into government schools through the School of Excellences. And technically, we want to continue. Like Malawi, we don't have our own syllabus for CAF coaching license, for example, for A. We want to make sure that we introduce our own syllabus so that we can be conducting A license on our own. And this is going to happen as other countries are already doing. 2025 is a year that I would say it will be a year that is going to be easier to us, unlike maybe 2024, where we're busy maybe building the foundation. But come next year, it will be very easy for us to ride on this foundation that we have created. And I can assure you that next year, there will be more milestones that we are going to achieve, more than what we have achieved in 2024. We have already indicated to given the vacancy to government. We are in talks with them to help us to find a permanent coach. But as we speak today, we do have an interim coaching panel, which is for the women's, we have got Fazili, and for the men's, we have got Pasua, who is leading us. We want to make sure that our calendar is aligned with our regional calendar, or I should say CAF calendar. This is something that we have been preaching, something that we have been asking for many years, but we are going to make into realization because now we're in the office. We are going to start moving this shift starting from next year. We know that it's not going to take 1 year, it may take 2 years for us to go into that realm of the regional calendar. But starting from next year, we are going to make sure that even the congestion is no longer there. Starting with Air to Top 8, we are going to make sure that Air to Top 8, since we have already, the names or the teams that are going to compete, they are already determined through the TNM Super League. What it means is that the Air Total 8 is going to start as soon as possible before the league. This is to reduce the congestion. And some other cups, you see, they're going to be played in good time to reduce the congestion. Not only that, we are also going to make sure that our involvement in some of the international competitions, especially for the national teams, we are going to make sure that they should not affect our league. For example, talking of COSAFA, we still take COSAFA as a developmental tournament, and we're going to make sure that only developmental squads are going to be playing in these tournaments. Yes, every Malawian is ready and willing and wanting for us to win COSAFA, but at the same time, we should not bring to COSAFA people whom we know that they've already done well. We need to make sure that we should bring people that we're going to develop, players that we're going to develop, to make sure that tomorrow we have got a bigger and skilled team that can compete even at a continental stage. Next year it will be a very competitive season, and we believe that is going to be a better season compared maybe to 2024. You can see that the National Division League is something that we secured in 2024, but is starting in 2025. So the whole reason of us having the National Division League is none other than to make sure that our Super League is very competitive. You can agree with me that each and every year, most of the teams that qualify to go into the league, they end up maybe the same year being relegated. Why? Because most of these teams, it's not like they're not good, but they're not used to play football across or beyond their borders, of the regional borders. So you can imagine that teams who were playing in the Northern Region or Central Region or Southern Region, they were used to play within that region. Now, if you lash them to go into the league, which is the hottest or the first tier of your football, no wonder they burn out, no wonder they end up maybe relegated the same year. So we are saying, let's prepare these teams. This is where we have got the National Division League, whereby it will be played nationwide. The whole reason is to make sure that we prepare, we have a competitive league. Now, the ones who are going to win in the National Division League are the ones that are going to qualify to go to Super League. We believe that by bringing this second tier to the Super League, is going to bring more competition, is going to bring more skill, is going to bring more good players to the national team. I believe that the opening of Luwinga Inclusive Academy, where currently we have already enrolled 25 boys and 17 girls, whom we are accommodating at Luwinga. We are the ones, with the farm is currently responsible for their school fees and everything. We had a good agreement with their parents and everything. So these kids are like our kids now as Football Association of Malawi. We believe that with this, most of our areas that we've been talking about, starting our football from grassroots, is going to start. And I'm saying it's not only Luwinga Inclusive Academy, but we are also exploring with the Malawi School Association, Sports Association, where we're saying we need to also open up the School of Excellences, whereby, for example, each and every education zone should have, at a minimum, maybe one center. This is going to help us to unpack what most of our strategies, one of which being the export strategy. You know, for us to export players, you need to teach them while they're young. We cannot export players while they are aged, maybe say 28, 30 years. We believe that at 17, 18, 19 years, these players can easily be exported. So one of the benefits that I see out of this is, number one, we're going to have a strong squad. We're talking of starting from under 17, our under 20, our under 23, even our main team. In 2 years, 3 years, these kids are going now to be playing in our national team. You can agree with me now that football these days, most of the players that we know, maybe there are 2, 3 exceptions, like maybe Cristiano Ronaldo and all those, but most of the players that you know today, if you look at their age, they're teenagers. So why? Because they went through this channel of academy. We believe us, by starting this academy with compliments from other academies that we have in the land, And also, if we go hand in hand with government through the School of Excellences, I believe that we are going to unlock more benefits that we believe that the grassroots is going to give to Malawi.
Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the moment himself, in flesh and blood, allow me to invite Fleetwood Haiya for his remarks. A round of applause.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Uchizi Kandawire MP, my executive committee, all members from member associations affiliated to FAM, the invited guests, distinguished invited guests, the members of the media, diminished band. I was wondering, is diminished band because of the height or what? Good evening. Tonight is indeed a very special night, which marks our first anniversary being in charge of the Football Association of Malawi. And I stand here before you, honored and humbled, to look back and reflect with both admiration and reservations on our football transformation agenda. Let me thank God Almighty for the gift of life, for the gift of wisdom, for the gift of health, gift of strength, and also grace that He bestowed upon me and also my team, my executive committee. Tonight, I stand in front of you to register my profound thanks and gratitude to football stakeholders, both locally and abroad. And on the same vein, let me also recognize the support that we as executives got from our family members. So our families, my wife, wherever you are, I see my brothers, they, and everyone that is watching us tonight, please receive our gratitude, because we know that on our own we couldn't have made this journey possible. But these 365 days has been easy for us because of your support, because of your intervention, because you have been interceding for us. So we say thank you very much. As we set on the 10-year plan to transform the game of football in Malawi, I want to take this opportunity to remind all of you what Football Association of Malawi is. So I'm saying this, I know, most of us, we know what Football Association of Malawi is. But maybe we don't understand what's the objectives, what's the vision, what's the responsibility of Football Association of Malawi. I think there have been a mix whereby others have asked us to do some responsibilities which are for government, thinking it's the responsibility for farm. Maybe responsibility for teams of building their own stadiums, thinking is the responsibility of farm to build stadiums. So, on the objectives, why is it that farm was established? Number one is to develop, to promote, to supervise, and or to control and regulate the game of football, beach soccer, and also futsal. Currently, we do not have a competitive league or cup for futsal, but it is within our mandate that we should control, supervise, promote, develop, and also regulate futsal within Malawi. And this has to be in accordance with the spirit of fair play and is unifying educational, cultural, humanitarian values, and indeed particularly through the youth and development programs. Another objective is to encourage the sport of football at a national level in the spirit of fair play. In brief, what I wanted to say is that as Football Association of Malawi, we are a regulatory body. We are more or less as a regulatory body. There have been calls whereby maybe people asking to say, why is it under 15 traveled on the road? Are you people at farm mad or what? Why didn't you fly those kids? Zona mgaende se anaba basi, ukafika nao ku Namibia. Are you crazy or what? So, nimafuna ningo yanka, mobweza mau pangono eti. Kuti mkazawo na anataenda babasi, uzango zwati ndiye kuti chithandizo kuboma sichina dani. Koma famu ikufuna yesesebe kuti anaja akamenye chani. You get the point, eh? It is our responsibility to make sure that football must happen. Tikaona kunena kuti munu wake wa national team, which is government, mwina sana tipase zoyenera zokwanira ifeyo timayesesa as Football Association of Malawi to make sure kunena kuti we should not steal the talent, we should not kill the talent of those kids, but help government to make sure that those kids have been given the opportunity. So nimafuna ndi longosoli pamene pa kunena kuti siku lina mzamva mwina siti kumenya muchani. I can assure you, if government can give us everything, be assured, World Cup timenya. Tikumvana it? It's a promise. But we make sure that within the same resources that government do give us, we should make sure that most of these competitions we should participate. Let's be honest. Tonse muno ndagula gulo. Sitonse amene tinabadwira magesi, sitonse amene tinabadwira mutala, sitonse amene kwati kunali kuchita bwino. Koma through the little resources we managed olomakolo athu anatilera pano takula tafika pamene tilipa. What I'm trying to say is, even within those limited resources, we need to fight. Even within those limited resources, we should not slack back. No. Football Association of Malawi, under my leadership, we are saying we are going to move on. We are going to transform the game to make sure that we move on despite the limited resources. As we reflect the 2024 and 2025, let me also make a special mention of gratitude to the President of FIFA, Mr. Gianni Infantino, and also Dr. Patrice Motsepe, who is the president for CAF, and the COSAFA leadership. Let me also thank government for being there for us. Let me thank government for being there for us. Today, I can say, as you have seen on the projector, we have managed to participate in each and every competition. Especially when it comes to the youth, I did not allow our youth to miss any tournament. You're talking of under 15, under 17, under 20, both girls and boys. This is where my heart is. This is where my leadership, together with my EXCO, we believe that football in Malawi, to be transformed, we need to consider grassroots. We need to think of grassroots. And we are not only there. It's not only about the players. We are also talking about the friends to football. We are talking of the coaches. From the projector, we have seen the workshops of young coaches. We have seen the workshops for young referees. And we do have young referees in Malawi who are doing well at the COSAFA region. This is because we believe that those are the youth that are going to be our leader in the next 2-3 years. We are not here to stay for 19 years, I can assure you. But I want to tell you, that in the next 2-3 years, these kids, for example, the ones that were enrolled at Luwinga, these under 15, under 16 kids, in the next 2-3 years, they'll be 18 years. If these kids can be given a platform to be trained properly, to be fed right food, to be educated, as Football Association of Malawi, we do believe that we have to balance football and education. Nowadays, football is science. It's very hard for a player to be a very good player with zero education. We have heard most of the players in England, Rashford, maybe skipping training, going to write chemistry. We want to emulate the same, to make sure that our players are educated. Look at Kina Piri today. He's no longer playing. But Kina is a deputy director. Why? He's learned. Most of our players, especially my generation, most of the players, we were given an option to say, mukufuna skulu, gabena mufuna mpira. Ngati mufuna mpira, tapanganiza mpira. Ngati mufuna skulu, mupangeza skulu. Musazabwereso kumpira. As a result, most of my generation, we were deprived of the educational rights. And I can assure you that it's very hard for my generation players to negotiate even a contract. Pena player kumuuza kuti uzilandira 300 kukana unati inebola 250. Kunena kuti kodi pamene pandezo khala bwanji. So we do recognize that we cannot do football without education. This is why we are saying Luwinga Technical Center will be one of the places that we believe we are going to realize our dream of transforming the game, and also in collaboration with government on this school of excellences that we are talking about. And also we are talking of registration of other academies that are already established. We believe the export strategy is possible. Agul, who would want to buy a player who is 39 years old? National team yathu. The past 3 games, you find out that my player to age. Okay, of course, you have a 29 years. Command, I mean the real age. Okay, the my players only na good in Gadine, the number was Sirida. This is number umenya mpira. Kompaka na lelo kumenya be. Okay, this should tell us, should give us a signal. But I'm saying, with my executive, while we appreciate the service that they're giving to this nation, but we need to solve the problem. We need to find the reason why this is happening. And the answer is grassroots. This is why grassroots is at our heart. But trust me, as I said, without your support, I'm talking of the affiliates, I'm talking of the corporate world, I'm talking of our sponsors, I'm talking about the prospective sponsors, I'm talking about the families. It's not easy. It couldn't have been easy. But you have made this road very easy for us to travel, very easy for us to move. I also want to recognize those people, those critics, those people who criticizes us. You need to understand, my leadership with my EXCO, we do believe that we are not angels. We make mistakes. We are not people who know it all. Therefore, when critics comes, we take them positively. And we are telling you not to stop, continue criticizing us. Because for us to achieve the 365 is because, one of the reasons is because we have been seeing those critics positively. Mwina mmaona ngati mutigenda, mwina mmaona ngati mukutinyoza, but I can assure you, kunena kuti zimene mmatizuzula zija, ife tinasankhamo zabwino, ndi zimene zatithandizira kuti 365 iyitheke. Ndeti tifunabe miyalayo mutigende nayo, ndicho linga chonena kuti timange Malawi wabwino, mpira wathu upite pasogolo. So ndifuna ndikulimbikiseni kuti kapitilizeni. Koma pempho ndilonena kuti popanga criticize, muzikhala kuti mukuziwa chimene mupanga criticize. Pali atolankhani ena zomvetsa chisoni, ali ndi anthu amene amapanga edit, kuliso abwana awo, amapezeka kuti akulemba nkhani yokuti iweso nkumanena kuti but do these guys not understand? Akuti Fleetwood must resign. Why? Why is it that he's taking the under 17 on the road when we have got aeroplanes in Malawi? Could I say, olo newspaper kwanu kuti takapempha kuti atipase olo 5 million, which is an air ticket for one person, are they going to manage? So palima critics ena onena kuti they are nonsense. Let us come up with constructive critics. I believe those constructive critics are going to help us to build our football in Malawi. Without critics, I have said already, we cannot build football. Sizoona kuti tose tingamangoenda bali mozi. Olo kuyela wakhalapa, my vice. Amafika point ina yondi kunikokela pambali. Kunoza president. Ineyo izinde mpanganoka. You know, without kukonzana, we cannot do it well. You understand? We all are people, we all have shortfalls. This is why we are saying, tizikonzana, tikonzane constructively, because that is going to help our football to go miles. As we have now built a foundation, I trust on the support of all of you to turn our dream into reality. Let us keep supporting each other and to achieve our goals. Let us also hold hands and build a strong football nation through strategic objectives as one people united by football. Finally, let me also thank the supporters. I can see supporter in our mponda sikuti mmenye right. Amanditukwana kwambiri. Anthu amandifunsa moti kufamu kuti bwana ndimukumuitana mponda ku function imene iyi amakutukwana nitu. I'm like actually amatukwana komano zambiri amalemba zomveka. Zimatithandizira. Tikumvana eti? Sindikuziwa kuti apa pana kanditukwana bwanji chinakhatu Wanderers sinatenge stage. But now he's a happy man. So let me appreciate the supporters. We have had 365, which was very fantastic, no issues. And let me also appreciate the media. Let me also appreciate the media for the work well done. It is very true that football cannot be sold without media. We had a media training a few days ago where I also said the same. If the media is against football, just know that kamupanga mpira zolongosoka media izifuna zina. Okay? Tiwala enaja olo Flames iwine ama taito momoda nene kuti Flames ya wina. Imakhala kuti too late. Ariyan, too little, too late. Guys, let's celebrate the win. Dead laba. Arita ombela kuma yobanda nchito. Guys, sanajire. In football, every game is important. And you know what happened? Malawi was at 134 position FIFA ranking. Just by winning against Burkina Faso 3-0, we moved 3 steps. I think we were at 131 by the time that I checked the FIFA ranking. And you should check Burkina Faso, what happened to their standing. They dropped, I think, 4 steps to the extent that they were summoned by their Minister of Sports to say, we gave you everything, why is it that you have dropped 4 steps instead of going up? But it was all Malawi. So every game is very important. Even if it is the last game, it is very important for our transformation. So let me also say that we did hand over for the vehicles which were given to the Legion associations and also the Super League of Malawi. I want to also unveil tonight that we have also managed to procure or secure 5 more vehicles. These vehicles are outside. You'll see. So, pa president ndiye mweyo, muzina president wa famu ndiye mweyo. Otherwise, a minister ga kamlanduru. To be honest with you, you can't believe that even our technical director did not have a vehicle. Even our CEO, he had a Nissan, of course, Magamo Domwewa. Football Association of Malawi CEO. No. Agulagul, when you go outside, you see what befit the CEO. Mugawo Nano Kabanja. CEO, but I'm not asking you to use that vehicle to go Wamayango no Chanchana. Can you imagine? We never had a car for the coach. We used to hire a car. I found FAM hiring a vehicle for a coach and paying almost 5 million kwacha every month, which is equal to 60 million kwacha a year, which is equal to, in 4 years' time, is 400 a year? 240 million. Guys, why don't we just buy a car worth even 240 million and give this person? Come on, we've bought a car worth about 70 million, 80 million, a brand new car. By the way, these cars that we're talking about, they are not Japanese cars. These are brand new cars with I wanted to say with 0 mileage, but it can never happen because the cars are here. Okay, but you need to understand, there are some other things that with the support from my EXCO, my finance chair, why? Why paying 60 million for a vehicle hire for a year? If you are capable of doing that, why don't you just buy a vehicle with okay, we have bought a vehicle of about 80 million to these guys, and I'm saying those vehicles can be depreciated over, they are brand new vehicles. They can be depreciated over 5 years. I'm saying the benefit only for these vehicles, the 9 vehicles, is more than $1 billion that we are saving. Thanks to you for choosing the executive that was visionary, the executive that is listening, and the executive that we believe is also going to transform the game. Finally, I understand we do have the last projection, so our eyes to the screen. So basically, this is what we are promising you, that next year, mutakulemba it, kuti next year ngati sitipanga achieve izi, muzati kumbuse. Another Fleetwood, you promised us that you are going to do this. Okay, so firstly, we're talking of formalizing MOUs with other FAs. Okay, we have got other MOUs that we need to formalize. Why formalize? Fleetwood, unali kumologo, you were talking of, you want to sign a MOU. Mesa idiko kale. Machidule tingonena kulibe kaya. We want to formalize, to make sure that MOU is there. Okay? Secure corporate partners for women's and beach soccer. As we speak, most of our athletes, they rely on farm subvention or farms' money for their competitions. You're talking of women's football, you're talking of youth football, you're talking of beach soccer. But I'm saying, ngati angalepere ajina chimbalanga, and abaso ndaona Force Ngwila is here. Ngati angalepere kupeza ma sponsors, us as Football Association of Malawi, we are going to make sure that we work hand in hand with them to make sure that next year we find solid sponsors for beach soccer and also for our women's football. We talked about School of Excellences. I'm aware that in the Northern Region, the School of Excellences, it has taken away. But we need also to formalize our partnership with the Malawi School Sports Association and Ministry of Education. And Pameneba, Honorable Minister, Pebani Simland, in our vision, we believe the major of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, together with the Ministry of Education, is going to do us good than to separate the two. Because you can see, we are talking of education, but this is a sporting thing. We are talking of School of Excellences, but this should be under the Ministry of Sports. So sometimes there is that gap. Even when we go to the district, when we find a district education officer, district sports education officer, and you find district sports officer, you tend to wonder to say, who are we collaborating with? When you're going to school, you would want to say, okay, let me deal with the district sports officer. They will be like, no. You have to take the district sports education office, and you'll be like, Eish. So, Honorable, it's our petition. We'll formally send it to you that I think the disbandment of these two ministries have affected us as Football Association so much. Securing direct national teams funding from Parliament. Honorable Minister, this is another challenge. You may agree with me that this year our budget that we presented to the National Council of Sports was almost 5 billion. The money that we only got was 450 million, not even 10% of our budget. We believe that if we can secure either a direct subvention to the national teams, not to farm. And I wanted to clear here. Farm does not receive any subvention. The money that government gives to farm is only for the national teams. The 450 million that we've received this year is only for the national teams, not for the salaries, not for the vehicles. I should thank government on the vehicles because they gave us a duty waiver. Okay, without which, I'm sure it would have been a hassle for us to clear those vehicles. You know, brand new vehicles, they come almost like 50 to 70% duty. So it could have been almost like double the value. So we thank government for that. But when it comes to national team funding, this is a responsibility of government, including nkhani ya coaches. Coach is a civil servant. So nkhani yake ndi imeneyo. So tikupempha kunena kuti chaka cha 2025 ndicho linga chathu kuti tionesese kuti tayika njira yolozeka yonena kuti funding yobwera kuja kuboma. Number one, iziziwikiratu for easy planning. Komanso izioneka soka kugwisidwa ntchito kake mosavuta. That's why we are saying securing a direct national team funding from parliament. Abana na uri akuba ndalama zathu ngati? Okay. Okay, on governance, we are talking about operationalization of National Football Tribunal. We have seen over the years whereby anthu akangokhala ndi mlandu kandi player kandi coach kwambiri mina macoach akumathamangira kuja kuma commercial court, industrial court. Komatu FIFA does not allow us to be going into those courts. One day we can be banned from football because of rushing to those courts. Now, FIFA has recommended that each and every FA must have a national tribunal court or a national football tribunal. Court lampira. Court limeneli we already commissioned. And if I'm not wrong, the chairperson for this court is the Deputy Chief of Justice, Love Mochikopa. Justice Love Mochikopa. So, court limeneli tiri kazikisa mwina kugulu by next year. So this is what we are going to do. Complete farm functional review. Titalowa office ku farm. Tinaloda kwambiri tinapeza kuti kulantu 6 seat. Komanso kuli ma directors 6 if not 5. Komano zochitika zawo kupeza kuti director of competition Gome ndiye muyesa okhala match coordinator, ndiye muyesa okhala match commissioner. Ndeti matsone wewe kupanga direct ndani poti ukuzipanga so direct work. So tinanena kuti tisana chigunde chinthuchi, let's do a functional review. Tione kuti kodi ndizofunikadi kuti tikhale ndi position komanso ndizofunikadi tikhale ndi anthu 6 seat ngati tili ochepera ndiyo titionjezera. Komano pamene tili ochuluka ndiyo tikuyenera tichepese. Ndicho linga chonena kuti we have to be efficient. Establish regional football association offices. As we speak, we do have offices, but now we haven't yet employed the administrators in those offices. We want to make sure that in 2025, we have got people that are going to work in those offices, qualified people who are going to work in those offices, to make sure that the Legion Association, when I talk of the Regional Association, I'm talking of the referees in that region. I'm talking of the coaches in that region, the youth, the women, and the Regional Football Association of that area. So we want to make sure that we have got people that can represent us in those offices, and Football Association of Malawi will be responsible for their employment, for their salaries, and for their everything. Reporting will be due to the Legion Association and also to Football Association of Malawi. We believe that football is a voluntary job. We do not want to punish or to task our affiliates of reports. Amakutumizira, nimakumbukira in those days, one of the members complained. I was like, koma akufinansiwa, akunduza report ndatumizira, akunduza so nitumize so report ndatumizira, ndi akundifusa so nitumize so report yomwe. So we are saying, moving forward, we should not bother people who vote us, whom we say are our bosses, but we have to employ people. We want to also make sure that we introduce club licensing for National Division League, women's football, and also the regional leagues. We want to also make sure that we facilitate elective AGMs for the OMAs in 2025. And on governance, we also want to make sure that we organize the women's football structures. In terms of technical, we are going to make sure that through our chair technical committee, we developed the national football philosophy. Tufuna the philosophy yathu. Koda Malawi, inu mpira wanu ndodani. Kodi mamenya Barcelona gavena jani. So we want to have our football philosophy. Okay, we talked about CAF A coaching course. We need to have our syllabus. Next year, working together with government, we want also to make sure that we have got full-time coaches. It's not only for Flames, but all the national teams. I'm talking of under 15, under 17, under 20, and the senior teams, both women and men. And also our beach soccer. Beach soccer yatu, bo malima kanga the maziwa beach soccer iligo. But I'm telling you, it's a team that have been qualifying. For the first time, we have come out number 7 in Africa. Okay, for the first time. But we are saying let's recruit these coaches in 2025. We are also, it is also our wish, after we have said that we are going to make sure that we discuss with government in terms of funding, we believe that we will be able to participate in all competitions for our national teams. I'm talking of women's. Ndukambas are women's because women's, like this year, we haven't done well. They've only competed in COSAFA tournament. But there hasn't been any friendly, there hasn't been any tournament that they've played. But come next year, 2025, we promise that our women are going to play in WAFCON, which is the qualifiers for AFCON, and other competitions. You're talking of 4 Nations tournament. Very soon, maybe we are going to confirm where we may be invited in Zambia, in Ndola, where we're going to play 4 or 6 Nations tournament. We're talking of now on competitions. National Division League is going to be rolled out. Football calendar switch. I think this is something that we've talked at length to say our football calendar has to tie with the international calendar. Tima kanga tulipanga zosiyana. Anzatu akumaliza ife tukuyamba. Anzatu akuyamba ife tukumaliza. Maplayer atu to go for trials zimavuta. Ndami na kwenda kupita ku trials ntai imene ino silver ili pakaliki kufuna kutenga chiko. How can they allow their player to go for trials? Sizingateke. Now, ntai imene tamaliza ligi anzatu uno kwauko yamba ligi ili ngati pano. Amene maonela English Premier League, amene maonela ku Zambia, maonela ku South Africa, pano pa ligi ndi pamene ili nkati. So sitingapite for trials. Ma trials off season yawo inatha kale. So we are saying we have to do that. In terms of commercial and marketing, we believe that we are going to make sure that we host farm awards. These awards will start from 2024. They'll be done in 2025. We are also going to make sure that FAM has got a technical partner. Can you believe Football Association of Malawi never had a partner? Jazz timachita kumaga gula jazz. Koma tikunena kuti Football Association of Malawi is a big brand. We can have partners. We can have people that can sponsor us. I'm talking of Kandi Puma, Kandi Adimilo, Kandi Adidas, Kandi Nike. That is going to happen in 2025. Moses, you heard? Yes. And the other thing is to complement government. We also want to make sure that we know that it's not easy for government to give us everything that we need. There are some other items which are of priority. Therefore, we also want to embark on funds memorization to make sure that we mobilize funds. The chaka chimene chikubwerachi, please, tikunena kuti 365 has happened because of you. So we are saying in 2025, we are going to come to you and ask whether we'll be having fundraising activities. We're asking you to not let us be alone, but together we should be able to transform the game of football. Thank you very much.
Zikomo kwambiri. Mawu opanda chigamba zomveka bwino kwambiri. Thank you so much for sharing with us your vision for 2025. Like you have said, all stakeholders will look up to you and will hold you accountable, and we are all excited chifukwa mmaonetsa kuti muli ndi mtima ofuna kuchita zinthu poyera, kumva maganizo kuchokera kwa anthu ndi cholinga choti mpira ku Malawi upite patsogolo. Ladies and gentlemen in this room and those of you watching us from home, we've come to the end of our program tonight, and panthawi ino mundilole kuti ndikuyamikeni for taking your time kubwera kudzakhala nafe pompano celebrating Fleetwood Haiya's 365 days. Mukanapanda ino kubwera, this would have been an empty room. If you were not there watching in your living room, this would have been in vain. So thank you for being there. Till next time, from me, Keti Kujaliwa BICC, we say good night to you at home. Those of you here, continue enjoying. We're going to have a networking session. Ndiye ndipemphe koma tisanayambe kunjoya kwambiri kuti Mr. Pilani Zonda adzatitsekere ndipemphe.
Tipemphere mupitirire kulandira ulemu komanso matamando Yehova Mulungu wathu chifukwa cha ukulu umene mwaonetsanso pa malo ano. Ambuye tikuti zikomo chifukwa cha zimene tamva, zimene Mulungu mwatiphunzitsa, mwatidziwitsa, mwatitsogolera pa masewero a mpira mu dziko lino la Malawi. Tikukuthokozani chifukwa tinalipo mpano mu chaka chatha, pamene Mulungu tinamva zopanga transform mpira wathu ku Malawi kuno. Kudzera mwa mtsogoleri Fleetwood Haiya komanso timu yake yonse, tikukupemphani kuti Mulungu zimene atiuza kuti akufuna kuchitira dziko la Malawi, Mulungu mumutsogolere, mumudalitse, muwapase moyo wathanzi wamphamvu wautali wonga munaulemba m'Masalimo. Komanso timu yawo yonse Yehova chimvano chimene ali nacho chikhale chopitirira. Tikupempha inu Mulungu kuti mukakwaniritse izi mu dzina la Khristu Yesu. Pamene tidakali malo omwe ano komanso pamene tidzabwerera kumene tachoka, tikupempha chisomo chanu, chifundo chanu, chikondi chanu chikayende nafe kuti tsiku linanso loyikika tidzabwerenso napangira umboni pa zimene Mulungu tauzidwa kuti timva ndi kuonanso mu chaka chimene chili kubwera. Mu dzina la Yesu Khristu tapemphera. Amen.
Amen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite you to a network session. Enjoy the drinks, enjoy the snacks. With your indulgence, honorable
kuno ku BICC ku Lilongwe wata ndipo mtsogoleri wa bungweri watambasula bwino lomwe zimene bungwe la FAM lakwanitsa mu chaka chimodzi cha transforming the game agenda imene ndithu mtsogoleri wa bungwe la FAM Fleetwood Haiya ali nayo patsogolo kuti mwina mpira wathu mdziko lino ukhaleko nkusintha kwina. Pali zinthu zambiri zimene ndithu wafotokoza kuti zikuoneka kuti zikuyenda, komanonso wavomereza kuti pena ndi pena zimakhala ngati kuti ayi mavuto sangalephere. Komanso ndithu walonjezamo zinthu zambiri zimene zichitike mchaka cha 2025 mwachitsanzo kuonetsetsa kuti timu ya dziko lino ya Flames ndi matimu ena achisodzera asewere m'mipikisano yonse. Komanso ndithu kufotokozapo momveka bwino lomwe kuti ayi timu ya dziko lino izidziwika ndi ma-sponsors ake bungwe la FAM litamanga lipeze ma-sponsors okwanira a national team pasamangokhalira kudalira ndithu mwina ndalama zochokera kuboma, komanso thandizo lochokera kuboma likhaleko ndithu kuti lonjezereka. Komanso ndithu walonjezapo president wa FAM uyu kuti aonetsetsanso kuti matimu onse a dziko lino akhale ndi aphunzitsi okhazikika, makamaka ndithu timu ya Flames. Pakadali pano pati kudziwa kuti chichotsereni ntchito Patrick Mabedi, kunali aphunzitsi ongogwirizira kumeneko Kalisto Pasua, Peter Mponda ndi Richard Mwansa, koma kunena kuti chaka chammawa kukhaleno kuwunikira kuti kodi tilembe ntchito mphunzitsi okhazikika wa Flames muotani. Komanso akamalemba ntchito mphunzitsi wa timu ya Malawi yayikulu adzaganiziranso ndithu matimu ena ngati achisodzera ya under 23 komanso ya beach soccer ngakhalenso timu ya azimayi. President wa famuyu wafotokozanso mmene momveka bwino lomwe kuti dziko lino likuyenera kuti lidzikhala lodziwika ndi kaseweredwe kake brand yake kapena kuti timati philosophy kuti Malawi ngati ikusewera ngati mpirawo imaufolesa kuyambira kumbuyo kumapita kutsogolo ndiye kuti zizioneka zimene zozo ku timu ya under 17 under 20 under 23 ngakhalenso ndithu timu yayikulu. Ndiye philosophy imeneyo akumana ndithu ndi akadaulo ake a technical aone kuti ayikhazikitsa muotani ndiye kuti kudzakhalanso kufikira matimu a Super League kuti zonsezo ndithu zizachitike. Zina mwa mfundo zimene ndithu mtsogoleri wa bungwe la famu wakhutula mchipinda chimenechi kuno ku BICC ndi zimene zozo ndithu pamene amawunikira masiku 365 oyambirira utsogoleri wa bungwe la famu watsopano chiusankhireni chaka chatha mwezi wa December pa chisankho chimene chinachitika mu mzinda wa Mzuzu. Well, the Football Association of Malawi President Fleetwood Haiya has delivered his message regarding the reflection of the 365 days that has been championing the transforming the game agenda, where he has highlighted quite a number of achievements that have been attained in this first year under his leadership. However, he has also admitted that it wasn't all rosy because of quite a number of challenges, including funding, lack of funding, more especially for the national team. He singled out that, for instance, there was a request that was given to government to consider funding the national team for about 5 billion. However, government only made available 450 million kwacha, which partly contributed to the Flames' poor showing, more especially in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying campaign. And again, he also said that there were quite a number of challenges in terms of maybe securing sponsorships, but next year he's looking forward to one of the most successful years, where he's promised that among others there has to be an establishment of a recognized philosophy for the national teams, where Malawi's football has to be identical. And again, he has also hinted of quoting sponsorships for the women as well as beach soccer. He has also pledged a commitment to make certain that there is quite enough funding for the national teams as well as everyone else to make sure that we have quite a very successful year in as far as football is concerned next year. Meanwhile, I'm being joined by the President, Fleetwood Haiya, maybe to highlight more regarding the 365 days. Welcome, President.
Thank you very much.
Reflecting on the 365 days since you were ushered into office, 16th December 2023 in Mzuzu, what's the impression?
First, let me thank God for the gift of life, the strength, the good health, the wisdom, and also the grace that He has bestowed over me and also my executive team, because without that, I know it could have been hard for us. And also, let me thank the affiliates, the sponsors, the partners, the stakeholder, all the stakeholders in football. I'm talking of government, FIFA, CAF, COSAFA, because these all have helped us to make sure that our journey in 365 to be easy. In terms of summing it up, how it has been a mixed bag. But for us, we are saying we have achieved more milestones as per our promise that we made. We are talking of grassroots. I think we have achieved a lot on grassroots. We are talking of, in terms of capacity building, I think we have done that capacity building, almost all the stakeholders, maybe excluding the subcommittees of farm. But when you talk of the referees, the coaches, the administrators, you talk of the media, we have done all the capacity building. This is what we promised, because we wanted to make sure that everyone is aligned to our vision or to our strategy. And when it comes to performance of the teams, the beach soccer, we have done well. For the first time, we have come out number 7 after beating Tanzania in Egypt. Yeah, and for our ladies, we played in COSAFA, where we came out 3rd after being booted out by Zambia. And this one was without the players that you know, the likes of Tabitha, Tema, they were not there. So it was a time whereby we wanted also to give an opportunity to the young girls. And we have established some talent there. This is why we managed to come third out of 14 teams. It's for the first time COSAFA being participated by all 14 countries. But we came out third. When it comes to the national team, the Flames, the main team, the senior team, we slacked when we started off, losing to Burundi, losing to Senegal, losing to Burkina. Yeah. But after we changed the technical team, we saw some positive results. Where we drew with Burundi away and we won against Burkina Faso for the first time in our life. And to sum it up, as I said, it has been a mixed bag. But for us, as Football Association of Malawi, we are saying a lot that we have done is to our benefit. You're talking of participation in competitions, starting under 15, under 17, under 20, both girls and boys. It has been wonderful. And let me thank all the all people who supported us, including those who criticized us. Because I always say that those who criticize us, they are the ones also that help us to build. The same stones that they are criticizing us are the ones that we are building the corners of our transformative agenda.
In your speech, you bent much on lack of funding, more especially from government. How has that contributed to the national team's poor performance? And how do you look forward to making certain that by next year, at least funding from government is adequate?
As I've indicated earlier, that we want to make sure that in 2025, we have got a direct funding from government that is strictly for football, for the national teams. As you are aware that the national teams are funded by government, even the coach is supposed to be a civil servant who is employed more or less by government. And for the administration of farm, government does not give us anything. And we are not asking anything for government to give us. But the government do also come in to facilitate some of our acquisition. You're talking of the motor vehicles that we have procured, about 9 of them. Government came in and facilitated the judo waiver on that. It's not an easy thing, but we just say thanks. Come 2025, we believe that government is going to do better than what they've done in 2024.
Mwachidula President, masiku 365 oyambirira mwakutira.
Tinene kunena kuti takutira pazomwe Mulungu atichitira. Makamaka potipasa moyo, potipasa nzeru, potipasa usogolero umenewu, potipasa chisomo kunena kuti tifike mpaka na 365 ndo kwanilisa zina ndi zina. Kwa ine komanso kwa nzanga onse amu executive ndi onse amene akutumikira mpira kuno ku Malawi. Komanso ndife okhutira ndi support imene talandira kuchokera kuma affiliates, komanso ma sponsors, ma partners ndi onse amene amakonda masewero a mpira. Support yawo talandira. You talking of angakhale ma support amene kubwera kuma stadium tapanga record whereby tapanga about more than 100 million ku game imodzi. Izizi ndi support yokhayo imene talandira. So tinene kuti ndife okhutira. Koma ngakhale tunati ndife okhutira pali zina zimene sitinachite bwino. Tukamba monga ngati kuja ku national team ya Flames sinachite bwino mchaka chimenechi. Matimu ena omwe achitako bwino tukamba asikana athu achisozera apanga qualify kuja ku AFCON under 15. Tukamba under 17 matimu athu anabwera kuja ku semifinals. Tukamba ku COSAFA tinapita ndi timuso yachisozera pamene sitinatenge ma professionals ena ndi ena akuluakulu amene mukwaziwa achina Tabitha achina Tema. Koma tinakayesesa kumene kuja kukhala kuti tili mu gulu la number 3. Si chinthu chophweka kwambiri. So tinganene kuti chinali chaka ndithu cha zonse zabwino komanso zina zimene tinafoka. Nkona kuti mu 2025 tibwera mochilimika. Chifukwa kwa ife sitikukamba kunena kuti kodi sitinagwepo ayi. Koma kwa ife nkhani yatikha yoti tikagwa kodi timazuka ndefe tifuna tinene kuti tikuzukanso mu 2025 ndi mphamvuso za nyuwani ndi mphamvuso za sopano. And ndipo mu 2025 tiyembekezere kuti Malawi aona zambiri zokupsa kuchokera ku Football Association.
Adandaula kwambiri zokhuzana ndi kuchepa kwa ndalama, thandizo limene boma likukupatsani makamaka national team. Fika boma ngati lili ndi responsibility kumpiraku ndi national team. Zathandizira motani kuti mwina timu yathu isachite bwino. Komanso mukonda motani kuti chaka chammawa akugwireni dzanja funding ya national team ikhale yochulukirapo.
Ndizoonadi kunena kuti mu chaka chammawa tiyesesa kunena kuti tifuse boma kunena kuti tikhale ndi funding yathu
yachiziwikire yobwera kuja ku ma national teams athu amene tikuyendesa ife a Football Association of Malawi m'malo mwa boma. Mukuziwa bwino lomwe kuti ma national team amene timayendesa m'malo mwa boma. So tapanga njira yonena kuti tiyankhule ndi akuluakulu kapena maofesi okhuzidwa ndicho linga chonena kuti funding yathu yokhuza ma national team tiziziwa munthawi yabwino ndicho linga chonena kuti tipangeso maplan athu munthawi yabwino. Tili ndi chikhulupiriro kunena kuti pamene boma likuteromonso ifeso ngatafamu tifunanso tiyike njira zina zonena tithandizireko makamaka kuja kuboma pamene akuti pasa ndalama zimenezi tikuziwa kuti mwina sangatipase china chilichonse komanso pale tokha tizithandizire kotero kuti ndisimikize pano kunena kuti mchaka cha 2025 tikuyembekeza kuti boma lichita zakupsya kuposa monga mmene takhalira mu 2024.
Zabwino zonse.
Zikomo kwambiri.
That was the Football Association of Malawi President Fleetwood Haiya, highlighting some of the key attributes that has contributed maybe to some achievements that have been attained in the just ended year, where we have reflected 365 days of his first term in office. Youth and Sports Minister, which is Mukandawire, during the President's speech, he complained more especially on the little funding from government towards the national team. He said that has contributed to the national team's slackness in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying campaign. However, he's optimistic that come next year, with the plans that have been laid out, perhaps government, you do find it worth to increase the funding or maybe lobby for national teams funding from Parliament.
Well, the issue of funding for the Football Association of Malawi is a long-standing issue, and it's not the first time that the Football Association of Malawi has complained about funding from government. Okay. The bottom line is there's quite a lot that is required for the Football Association of Malawi to achieve, especially when it comes to participation in international competitions. Okay. Football Association of Malawi has got so many associations that are affiliated to it, which are part of the national teams. You are talking of the Flames, you are talking of the women soccer, you are talking of beach soccer, you are talking of the under 20, under 17, under what. All of these teams, they require to participate in international competitions, and that doesn't come cheap. It is costly. It requires a lot of resources. And as government, we know that our resources are always constricted. The resource envelope is not adequate in every sector. Every sector has got big ambitions, has got a lot of requirements. But for government to fund each and every, or to satisfy each and every requirement in every sector, that is a huge, that is a mammoth responsibility. So even in the sports sector, as much as we would want to have a lot of resources, that is not possible. So at the end of the day, what is required is that we manage with what we have.
But is it possible to lobby Parliament maybe for just that part of at least helping the national team, instead of maybe relying from the cake that is shared by Sports Council? Why is it, isn't it possible that the national team at least can have its own vote, its own funding that has been lobbied through the National Assembly?
Well, we are yet to see that together with the Football Association of Malawi, because it requires registration. And it is Parliament which makes the laws. So it is not up to us to come up with that kind of legislation to say that farm should now be allowed to access resources from the consolidated fund directly through a vote in Parliament. So they have come up with that kind of suggestion. We are yet to see how it is going to come out. They are going to lobby, they are saying, with Parliament to allow them have a vote in the national budget, which can allow them to access the funds directly. So we are yet to see how that can happen, and together we are all going to see how it's going to roll out. But otherwise, it is all up to Parliament to decide whether that can be possible or not, because it is Parliament which makes the laws.
Nduna ya za chinyamata ndi masewero uchizi mkandawire munabwera apa pa mwambo umene ndithu bungwe la FAM limawunikira masiku oyambirira 365 pansi pa utsogoleri watsopano umene patsogolo pake pali Fleetwood Haiya. Mukulankhula kwawo adandaula kuti national team makamaka ya ikulu ya anyamata sinachite bwino kamba kuti mavuto azachuma anayikhuza, anapempha kuti akalemba budget ya 5 billion kubomako mmapatsa kakeke ka 450 million. Ndi amapempha kuti kodi chaka chammawa sizingatheke kuti ku nyumba ya malamuloko inu muli komweko ngati phungu wa nyumba ya malamulo nkungoyamba popanga lobe kapena kupemphano kumemeza aphungu ena kuti national team yokhayi izikhala ndi thumba lake kusiyana ndi kuti ndalama zimene zikupita ku sports council ndiye kuti agawane a football, a netball, a chess, otamanga, a masewero osambira mu nyanja, kanu ndi zina zootero.
Mavuto a zachuma ku Football Association of Malawi akasiko yamba nkhani imene ikutuluka ndi nkhani imene yakhala ilipo kwa nthawi yayitali. Chimene chimachitika nchonena kuti ku FAM kuli zochitika zambiri. Iwo aja ali ndi matimu amene akuwayang'anira ochulukirapo, andi matimu onsewo amafunika kuti akachite nawo masewero makamaka amene amapikisana ndi matimu ena akunja, the international competitions. Ndiye zimenezo zimafuna ndalama zambiri, tukamba za air ticket ya accommodation, ma allowance chanchani. Ndiye matimu onsewo kuti zitheke zimafunika ndalama zambiri zimene kubomako nthawi zambiri zimakhala zonena kuti ndalama zimene timakhala nazo ngati ku ministry unduna umene umaona za masewero chimozimozi maunduna ena onse kumakhala ndalama zonena kuti timafuna ndalama zambiri, komano kuti treasury akaona amaona kuti ya ndalama zimene tingapasa awa ndi izizi, ndalama zimene tingapereke ku undunawo ndi izizi, kutengera ndi ndalama zimene zilipo. Ndiye chimene takhala tikunena nchonena kuti ife yonso tikamazigawa ndalama zimene tapasidwa tikuyenera kuti tizigawe ndi mogwirizana ndi zimene tingakwanisa. Timafunisisa titakwanirisa china chilichonse, ndipo unduna una uliwonse umakhala ndi maplani onena kuti tufuna tikwanise ichi, tikwanise ichi, tikwanise ichi, koma ndalamazo zimakhala kuti zimakhala nzochepa basi. Ndiye ife yonso mukuchepekedwa kwathu pamafunika kuti tipange zimene tingakwanise. Koma chimene ndingapemphe anzathu akufamu nchonena kuti tili ndi makampani izi zimachitikaso maiko ena, tili ndi makampani osiyanasiyana amene asali aboma akamapereka chithandizo ngati mene akupangira kandi kasteru kapo kachanchani aziyang'aniranso kunena kuti afamuwa amakhala ndi national team kuzipitaso kachithandizo kumene koko pamwamba pa zimene boma likupereka, pozindikira kunena kuti ma resources iwo tili nawo koma ndocheperapo.
Tathokozona uchizi mkandawire MP nduna ya za chinyamata ndi masewero nawonso ndithu amayankhako mbali yawo pa maganizo ndithu amene akuperekedwa okhuzana ndi thandizo limene ndithu limapita ku national team. President afamu akuti ayi tikapange lobe ku parliament, iwo akuti ayi tione tiganizire kuti kodi kutsogoloku lamulo limeneli tingalikhazikitse motani. Well, that brings us to the very end of this live coverage of the Football Association of Malawi event, where the authorities were reflecting on the first 365 days since Mr. Fleetwood Haiya was ushered in as president of the Football Association of Malawi during elections that were held in Mzuzu last year this month, but the date was the 16th. Aponso ndithu ndiye kuti tatsiriza kuulutsa kwathu kwa mwambo umene bungwe la FAM linakonza kuno ku BICC ku Lilongwe, kumene ndithu amawunikira masiku 365 oyambirira autsogoleri watsopano wa bungweli kumene ndithu patsogolo pali Fleetwood Haiya. Tithokoze nonse amene ndithu munali pamenepo kuonera Zodiac Television. Dzina langa ndi Sam Banda. Zabwino zonse zikomo kwambiri.
Ndangati kodatu. Fali kaje so ndi.